Today we're seeing what happened if every team made the NFL playoff. So here's what the bracket is going to look like. It's a March Madness type of thing, so we don't have to reseed every single round. Our first seed is going to be the Kansas City Chiefs versus Will Levis and the Tennessee Titans. Yeah, I'm expecting the Chiefs to win here. Halftime, the Chiefs are winning like I expected, but only by 3 points, 10-7. In the fourth quarter, nobody else has scored yet, but the Chiefs do have the ball and I'm just running the clock out. So they only win by 3 points, 10-7. I mean, they still won, but maybe they're on upset alert going into the second round. The second matchup is going to be a lot closer in seeding. It'll be the 8th seeded Cincinnati Bengals versus the 9th seeded Indianapolis Colts. That time, the Colts are actually up 14-10. Now, the Bengals do go down and score a touchdown. So now they're up by 3 entering the fourth quarter. Score another touchdown, so up by 10 with less than a minute left. So that's probably going to be game. Yes, it is. The Bengals win 24-21. Now we have two teams that kind of have playoff history with each other. It's going to be the Chargers versus Jaguars. And y'all remember what happened about 2 years ago. Yeah, I don't think anybody could forget. At halftime, the Chargers are winning 10-0. Then go down and get a touchdown. So up 16-0 now. Watch them blow this lead as well. Jaguars do go down and only get a field goal. The 4 minutes left, they get the ball driving downfield and get a touchdown. Only down by 6 points now. Can they get a stop and get this ball back to get a game-winning touchdown? No, they cannot. The Chargers end up running this clock out and win 16-10. We almost had another shocker there. Yeah, the Texans and Patriots up next. Obviously, I'm looking to the Texans winning because the Patriots don't have a great team. Halftime, the Patriots are winning the 14-7. The Texans do score a touchdown early in the third, so it's a tie. Then both teams get another touchdown, so it's still a tie game, but sadly, the Texans go down and get another one, so the Patriots have about 2 minutes left here to get a touchdown of their own if they want to win this game right outside the 30-yard line, so we have to hop in here and see what happens. Rookie Drake May takes a snap, looks around, and throws it to about the 20-yard line. Now, about a minute left. They have plenty of time here. They end up running the ball, and he runs it all the way in for a touchdown. Antonio Gibson could go for the 2-point conversion to end up being the lead, but they just kicked the extra point to tie this game up with 1 minute and 4 seconds. That means the Texans still have plenty of time to go down and get a touchdown themselves. In about 3 plays, they're right outside the 40-yard line already. The clock is counting down, and they're not using one of the 3 timeouts. I don't really know what they're doing unless they're comfortable taking a field goal from the 43. They're down to 5 seconds now. 4, 3, 2, 1, and they're just going to go into overtime. They literally could at least kick the field goal right there with a timeout. Texans get the ball first in overtime to drive down and do get a field goal. So if the Patriots get a touchdown here, they're our first team to get an upset in this challenge, but they kick a field goal as well. I guess if we have a tie game here, we'll just run it back and do a game 2, but the Texans drive inside the 30-yard line and end up kicking a field goal to end up winning this game with zeros on the clock. I was really hoping we would get an upset right there just because we haven't had any yet, but I guess we'll have to wait a little bit longer. Next, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers versus the New York Jets, and at halftime, the Steelers are winning, but only by 3 points, 10-7. Steelers are driving down and inside the 10-yard line, but have to settle for a field goal. Still only up by 6 points. Jets could come back and win this game, but the Steelers get the ball back, go down the field, and end up running the clock out to win 13-7. All of our games just so low scoring. Next, we have a very interesting matchup. It is the Ravens and the Raiders. Now, I would feel like the Ravens would win this because they're obviously a way better team, but earlier on in the regular season, the Raiders did upset them, so who knows what's going to happen. At halftime, it is the Ravens blowing them out 24-3. Now, the Raiders do go down and get a touchdown, but they have a lot of work to do. I doubt they're going to come back from that big of a deficit, and yeah, they're not. The Ravens end up winning 34-17. We're going to Maha Stadium for the Dolphins at the Broncos, and at halftime, the Broncos are winning, but only by 6 points. Can we see our first upset? Hopefully we do, because I need one at least. Entering fourth quarter, the Dolphins have the ball inside their own 10-yard line. Can they score a touchdown here? And yes, they can. They're up by 1.4 minutes left. Broncos have to end up punting the ball back to the Miami Dolphins, so they take a knee and run the clock out. So we actually have our first upset in the tournament. Thank God. I was getting a little bit worried that we weren't going to have any. For our last matchup in our first round on the AFC side, we're going to have the Cleveland Browns going up against the Buffalo Bills. At time, it's a tied game 10-10. Now, if the Browns end up beating the Bills, that's going to be a shocker. Bills go down to score a touchdown, so they're up by 7 points entering the fourth quarter, and later in the fourth quarter, they score a field goal under a minute left. Now, I doubt the Browns can score 10 points, and no, they can't. The Bills do end up winning this one 20-10. Our first game on the NFC side, I'm expecting to be a blowout. It is the Lions versus the Giants. At halftime, yeah, the Lions are beating the crap out of it 17-0, and now 24-3 entering the fourth quarter. Then end up winning this game at 24-10. Our closest seeded matchup on the NFC side is going to be an 8-seeded Seattle Seahawks versus the 9th-seeded Atlanta Falcons. Both are just barely missing the playoffs in real life. The Falcons are winning 14-10. Nobody scores in the third quarter, but early in the fourth, the Falcons do go down and get a field goal, so they're up by a touchdown. Let's see if the Seahawks can score, and they do score a field goal and get the ball back with about a minute left. We have to hop in this game to see if they can go and get a touchdown to win it. Just like one of the other games we hopped into, they're just letting the clock run down. Yeah, you have to actually end up fixing this because they have ran it all the way down to 5 seconds left. They have time for one more play now from the 20-yard line where we actually could have saw a good game. He throws it deep downfield, and somebody's open. He catches it, and he's going all the way. Wow! expecting that. How did they leave them that wide open? The Atlanta Falcons just choked once again. That might have actually been worse than the Super Bowl. The Seattle Seahawks are moving on to the second round as they win 19-7 on a Hail Mary game-winning touchdown. Wow. Now the Minnesota Vikings and the 49ers up next, and at halftime it is a very low-scoring game. The 49ers are winning 3-0. Also go down and get a touchdown. So they're actually trying to pull off a huge upset. Now the Vikings do go down and get a touchdown as well. Let's see if they can get the ball back, and they do. Let's see if they can get a field goal to end up tying this game up at least. Actually, with 23 seconds left, they end up throwing a 32-yard touchdown pass. 49ers have 15 seconds left. I highly doubt they're going to be able to win that game, so we're not even going to hop into it. And yeah, they don't. The Minnesota Vikings end up winning 14-10. I really thought we were about to see another big time upset. The Chicago Bears and the LA Rams are on next, expecting the Rams to kind of blow them out here because I think they are a lot talent roster-wise than the Bears are. At halftime, they are winning, but only by 4.7-3. Then the Bears go down and get a field goal and then a touchdown, so they're actually winning now by 5 points with 5 minutes left. Let's see if the Rams can respond, and no, they can't. The Bears end up running the clock out and actually win 10-7. We have another upset. The 13th seeded Bears end up beating the 4th seeded LA Rams. Next game is going to be very interesting because we have our first division rivalry matchup. It is the Washington Commanders versus the Dallas Cowboys. At time, the Cowboys are actually winning, but barely by only 3 points, 10-7. Commanders had the ball with about 5 minutes left in the game, but don't end up scoring. They needed to score at least a field goal there to tie it up. Now the Cowboys had the ball and are running the clock out. Somehow turned the ball over to the Commanders without getting any points, and they were inside the 20-yard line. So the Commanders actually have a chance here. EA is going to screw a team over once again. They're running the clock out all the way down to about 40 seconds, so at least they have some time here. And it's caught in almost to the 50-yard line already. Let's see if this rookie can lead this team to another game-winning drive. A perfect throw to Terry McLaurin. They're inside the 40-yard line. 30 seconds left. Daniels takes a snap. Maybe they can even get a touchdown here. He throws it to the middle of the field and gets about to the 20. They have no timeouts left, so they need to get up and spike this ball in quickly. 6, 5, 4. What are they doing? They're actually running a play. 3, 2. Oh my God. Madden actually just done them so terribly wrong. Zeros on the seconds now, and that is it. The Cowboys win this game at 10-7. EA, you have to fix this, bro. It's literally nothing I can do. This game is going to be another divisional battle. It's going to be my Carolina Panthers going into Tampa against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. At halftime, the Buccaneers are barely winning 9-7, but then the Buccaneers end up scoring 2 more touchdowns, so we're up by 15 points with only 5 minutes left. I doubt we're going to come back from that. Now we do score a touchdown, so that means we're only down by 1 possession. Can we get a stop? We can, and we're at midfield and inside the 40-yard line with about 30 seconds left. Now I am going to hop in this game. Please don't make it run the timeout. It's doing exactly that. Thanks, Madden, for doing it once again. Finally get to the line with about 13 seconds left. Takes a snap with 9. Bryce Young looks deep downfield, and it's somebody open. Jatavion Sanders catches it and gets inside the 5-yard line. Come on, Bryce, please. I need this in my life now as a Panthers fan. And Bryce Young scrambles out and throws it out of bounds. Okay, bro, what? Madden, I just can't anymore, honestly. We have the Cardinals going into Green Bay to face on the Packers, and at halftime, the Packers are winning here 14-3. After the teams exchange a field goal, under 2 minutes left, so I doubt the Cardinals can come back and win this game. They do get a touchdown, but like I said, they still end up losing 17-14. Now we have one last matchup in this first round, and that is going to be the 2-seeded Eagles versus the 15th seeded New Orleans Saints. Can we get one more upset before we move on to the second round of our playoff? But it doesn't look like, because the Eagles are winning at halftime 14-0, go down and score another touchdown. I highly doubt the Saints can come back from that, and no, they can. They end up losing 28-3. Ladies and gentlemen, we have our second round of our playoff bracket, and here's what it looks like. We have some very interesting matchups. Chargers versus Texans that literally just played in the wild card round of the playoffs. We got Chiefs and Bengals, Patrick Mahomes versus Joe Burrow once again. Ravens Steelers, the AFC North division rivalry. We have the AFC East division rivalry as well, and also the Packers and Eagles that also just played in the wild card round as well. So we have a lot of great matchups. I think we'll start this round with the best matchup, and that is the Chiefs versus Bengals. At halftime, we actually have the Bengals winning here 14-3. Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs going to be out in the second round of this playoffs. I hope so. Bengals go down and score another touchdown. The Chiefs have came back from way worse, so don't count them out here. They do go down and get another touchdown, so they're only down by 5 points here. Please, Bengals, put a scoring touchdown drive together, and no, they don't. They punt the ball back to Patrick Mahomes with 33 seconds left. Oh God, please don't let this happen again. 20-yard line. Patrick Mahomes takes the snap, looks around, and just throws a little check down. They have no timeout, so I don't understand why he did that. Clock is running down inside the 20 seconds now. I don't understand why Madden didn't make them take forever to huddle up and actually get to the line. I guess Madden's rigging it up for the Chiefs as well. Mahomes runs out to the right and throws it, but it's just out of bounds. 7 seconds left. They have time for 1, maybe 2 more plays. Takes a snap, looks around, Has plenty of time in the pocket, throws it deep downfield, but it is dropped by DeAndre Hopkins. So they only have one more play left to try to score a game-winning touchdown from their own 24-yard line. Now, if it's anybody in the NFL that can do it, it's between Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes. Takes a snap, looks around, and throws it deep downfield, and it is incomplete. So the Chiefs end up getting eliminated in the second round. The 8-seeded Bengals are moving on to the next round. Next up in the second round, we have the Chargers versus Texans. Like I said earlier, they literally just played in the playoffs. So maybe the Chargers can get some revenge on their rematch. Halftime, it is a tied game 10-10, and nobody scores in the third quarter, but early in the fourth, the Chargers do go down and score a touchdown, and they get the ball right back and drive inside the 20-yard line and end up kicking a field goal up by 10 points with less than a minute left. It looks like the Chargers are getting their revenge, and yes, they are, in 20-10. Now we have one of the best rivalries in all of sports. We have the Baltimore Ravens going up against the Pittsburgh Steelers. At halftime, it is a tie 7-7. The Steelers have the ball and are going down inside the 10-yard line and end up getting a touchdown. Baltimore Ravens are in real danger of being upset here as the Steelers get the ball back, go downfield, and get another touchdown. So the Ravens are going to lose this game 21-7. This second round has been crazy so far. We've had only 3 games, and all 3 games have been upset. If we get an upset in our next game, that would be absolutely crazy as well. It is the Dolphins versus Bills. At the break, it's not happening, but it's still very likely. The Bills are winning, but only by 4 points, 7-3. The Dolphins do go down and score a field goal and get the ball back, dropping downfield with about 50 seconds left. They're inside the 30-yard line right now and almost inside the 10. Do end up kicking a field goal to be on top with 13 seconds left, and that is going to be game. The Dolphins just upsetting the Bills. This is absolutely crazy from the AFC side. Now as we go to the NFC side, we have the number 1 Detroit Lions going up against the Seahawks. I swear, if the Detroit Lions actually end up losing this one as well, that would actually be wild. At halftime is a tied game of 7-7. Both teams go down and get a field goal, so it's still a tie game entering the fourth quarter. Lions have the ball, go down, and do score a touchdown. So the Seahawks basically have to score a touchdown here if they want to stay in this game. Down inside the 30-yard line and do end up doing. So it's a tie game once again. The Lions have about a minute left to score here to end up winning the game and not go into overtime. They are already inside the 30-yard line, so I'm pretty sure they made that field goal, and yes, they did end up winning a 20-17. We have an NFC North, a divisional rival, in the Bears versus Minnesota Vikings. I'm expecting the Vikings to blow them out, to be honest. But at halftime, neither team has scored yet. Yes, that's right. We have a score of 0-0, and nobody scores in the third quarter neither. The Vikings finally get some points on the board early on in the fourth quarter and do get the ball back. So they're going to end up winning 7-0. Next, we're going to have the Dallas Cowboys versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. At the time, the Buccaneers are winning 10-6. Go down and score, but the Dallas Cowboys respond back well. So it's a tie game with 3 minutes left, and we're actually going into overtime here as well. The Dallas Cowboys have the ball first, they're driving downfield and end up kicking a field goal. The Bucs score a touchdown here, they do win, but they don't end up scoring anything. So the Dallas Cowboys end up upsetting the Buccaneers. Our last matchup for the second round is going to be very interesting. It is the Packers at the Eagles. This is a playoff rematch that we just got. Pretty much all of the other teams that just met in the playoff did get their revenge, so let's see if the Packers can get it here. This time it is the Eagles winning by a pretty favorable margin, 21-9, and then they end up going and get another touchdown. So I doubt the Packers can come back and win this game, and no, they can't. Eagles do end up beating them again, 35-16. Imagine getting 2 chances to beat them in the playoffs and you can't win a single time. Now we only have 8 teams remaining in the playoffs, and one of them will be Super Bowl champion. Honestly, they're all going to be really good games. On the NFC side, they're going to be a lot better. We have Lions and Vikings. Obviously, they faced off twice with 2 big regular season games. And then we have the Cowboys and Eagles as well, one of the biggest division rivals in sports. First matchup with the Elite 8 teams are going to be a good one as well. It's going to be the Cincinnati Bengals versus the LA Chargers. At halftime, they are tied, but the Bengals go down and score a touchdown. And then another one. The Chargers need to score here to still be in this game, and they do. Only down by 7 points. Can they get a stop? And no, they can't. So the Bengals are moving on to the AFC Championship game. Now, who will they face? We're about to find out now. It's going to be either the Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Miami Dolphins. That time we have a very close game. It is tied at 10-10. The Steelers have the ball first in the fourth quarter and go down and score a field goal. So all the Dolphins need to do is get a touchdown, but they turn the ball right back over to the Steelers, setting them up in perfect field goal position. They end up running the clock out and winning 13-10. Our AFC matchup is set up. It's going to be very interesting. It's going to be the Bengals versus Steelers, both AFC North teams. Now we have to find the final 2 teams out in the NFC. First off, the Minnesota Vikings going up against the Detroit Lions have another tied game of 7-7. Both teams end up exchanging a field goal, and the Vikings have the ball back, driving inside the 20-yard line and do getting a field goal with only a minute left. I was about to hop in the game to see if the Lions can come back and win, but before I can hop into it, Jared Goff ended up throwing an interception to Byron Murphy. So in real life, the Vikings end up choking the playoffs, but in our simulation, that didn't end up happening. Vikings and Sam Darnold are going to the NFC Championship game as they finally beat the Lions in the season. I have one more game to decide our Final Four, and that is the Cowboys versus Eagles. Probably the best game in this round. At halftime is nowhere near a close game. Eagles are blowing out the Cowboys 21-0. The Cowboys do go down and get a touchdown, but the Eagles do respond right back with one of their own. I highly doubt the Cowboys can come back from that kind of deficit. I know they can't. The Eagles win at 28-7 and are going back to the NFC Championship game for the second time in 3 years. That means we have 4 teams left, 2 games to decide who are making the Super Bowl. First of all, we have Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals trying to make it back to the big game and actually win this time. Divisional rival in the Pittsburgh Steelers and Russell Wilson trying to get his second ring. Halftime, the Bengals are winning but barely 7-0, and early in the third quarter, the Pittsburgh Steelers go down and get a touchdown, so it's a tied game. The Bengals go down and get a field goal, but the Steelers respond with a touchdown on their own, and we're about to see the Pittsburgh Steelers go back to the Super Bowl for the first time in a long time. The Bengals pretty much have to score here, but they end up turning the ball over to the Steelers in perfect field goal position, but they don't even end up getting the field goal. The Bengals get the ball back with 21 seconds left. I know it's not a lot of time, but at least they're getting a chance. Anything can happen with Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow ends up taking a snap, has a lot of time back in the pocket, steps up, scrambling around, and doesn't find anybody, so he just throws out of bounds. Oh god, it's 4th and 10 now as well. I didn't even notice that. I don't know what happened to my face cam, so I'm just going to put a voiceover over it. He did complete it for the first down, but the running back did land inbound, so the time is just going to run out, and they're going to lose. So the Pittsburgh Steelers are surprisingly going to make it back to the Super Bowl. To find out who they're faced up against in the big game, first we got to do the Philadelphia Eagles versus the Minnesota Vikings. At time, the Eagles are winning, but barely 10-6, only 4 points, and the Vikings go down and get a field goal, so only up by 1 point. The Philadelphia Eagles do respond back with a touchdown their own. Still a one-score game because the Vikings are only down by 8. The Vikings end up throwing an interception. That's going to be it. Jalen Hurts end up taking the knee, and the Eagles will go on to face the Pittsburgh Steelers in Super Bowl 59. The Steelers try to get there first in such a long time as the Eagles and Jalen Hurts try to get their revenge from the one they lost about 2 years ago. Here goes nothing. One more game. Whoever wins this is going to be Super Bowl champions once again. Only one team scores in the first quarter, and that's the Steelers getting a touchdown. The Eagles get not only 1 but 2 touchdowns in the second quarter, and they're about only 4 points entering halftime. Get the ball now though and go down, score a touchdown. Steelers being down by 11 points. They probably need a score here, but they end up turning the ball over. The Eagles getting a touchdown, and it's getting out of hand here. Come on, Steelers, score again here to at least be in it. Okay, they do, only down by 11 points. They need to get a stop, but the Eagles do get a field goal, so I doubt they'll be able to come back. And even though they get another touchdown, they can't end up coming back and winning this game. The Eagles end up winning the Super Bowl 31-24. I'm kind of glad that Jalen Hurts actually got his first ring. He deserves it, especially after that heartbreaking one he suffered against Kansas City. That's going to be it to this video, everybody. I really hope you enjoyed. Let me know how far your team went in this playoff simulation. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll check you guys out next time. Peace.